Hey, this is Doug Field along with my co-host Brent Macy, and welcome back to the segment of Healthcare Consumerism Radio. And, there's been a lot of talk and discussion about, how the disruption in the market around exchanges and full replacement programs is really changing the opportunity, even challenges for voluntary benefits. And joining us to talk really about that from one of the leading voluntary benefit providers is Ryan Lee with Assurant Employee Benefits. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you both?
We're fine. How's Kansas City today? One of my favorite cities, actually.
That's great to hear. It is sunny. It's a nice reprieve from what it has been.
It's been a tough winter, even down here in Atlanta. So.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, Ryan, for our audience, give them kind of a quick backgrounder on Assurant Employee Benefits and, kind of history and where you guys are today, and then we'll talk about a deep dive into some of these new opportunities and issues.
Sure. Assurant Employee Benefits is part of Fortune 500 company Assurant Inc., AIZ ticker in the New York Stock Exchange. And AEB, Assurant Employee Benefits, has been in existence for 100 years. Currently, we've got 40,000 companies on our book with more than 63,000 lines of coverage. We focus on group ancillary benefits. Mm-hmm. It ranges from the traditional life, long, and short-term disability and dental and vision to the worksite voluntary products as well, accident, cancer, critical illness, and hospital confinement indemnity gap insurance. So a broad array of products.
What's the target size company for your product offering?
Yep, we focus on small to mid-size customers and the brokers that serve them. Mm-hmm. So it's our average disability size group is about 55 lives on average. But again, that range goes from 25 all the way up to 2,500.
You talk a lot about the change, what you're doing, and once you talk to our audience about where you see, we're moving to this more consumer-facing, programs, where employers have to really, for the first time, really focus on their employees and their families as consumers, backing up the brokers, and you, the provider, have to do the same. So tell us how that's, changing the way you look at business, the way, and some of the offerings that you're coming up with to support those initiatives.
Sure. So I think of this, healthcare reform essentially, right, is shifting the industry to not only focus more on consumers, as you mentioned, Doug, but also, and on that consumer choice among the broad options. But also, I think one of the significant things that's impacting us as carriers is the technology through which these consumerist platforms are delivered. The concept of choice, as you mentioned, I think has always been present in the voluntary industry. It's the nature of the benefits, having them be optional at that employee discretion, as well as having typically a choice within the products for folks to dial in the right mix of premium and benefit value for themselves.
Yeah, you're right. When you think about worksite and voluntary, it was one of the first consumer-based product lines, right?
Exactly, absolutely, and it's been that way for decades. And I think even the technology that I mentioned is still, I would say, it's in place, present in the industry. But what's really changing now with this consumerist approach, with the advent of exchanges, is decision support is now being offered, I think, more broadly, and it's that element, and really the bundling of this package together within the platform with the support for consumers to make these choices is really what's going to be transformative for the supplemental insurance industry.
Ryan, this is Brent. When you look out into the 2015 plan year, kind of what are your goals right now for, one, the brokers that carry your products, but also for those employers that you guys do serve? What's kind of the goals for you all right now?
So the goals from our perspective, I'll state it from the carrier perspective here initially. So our business goal is to become the number one seller of group voluntary lines, and to be the industry leader in carrier-provided benefits communication administration services. And so what that translates to for brokers and the employers that they serve is the turnkey to some extent, right? The package bundled solution that provides this landscape of employee choice and ease of administration and full support throughout the life of the policy.
Yeah. Ryan, have you launched a supplemental health voluntary exchange, or is that, and I should know, and I apologize if I don't. Have you?
That's all right, no worries. Yes, we actually, I think just recently there was an announcement coming from bswift with sort of their initial exchange launch that we're a part of, and there are more to come. Yeah. Some following a similar model, some as well being proprietary ventures of our company. So it's.
So you're playing with you're playing in the other private exchange models, but you may have a proprietary model as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It all follows the same approach, right? Providing either an alternative to public exchanges that offer the full service, not only the broad choice of medical plans for consumers, but then being able to make that a one-stop shop for employers. To offer the full array of benefits, simplifies administration for them or the brokers that are providing service to them. Or alternately as well, potentially a wraparound into the public exchange. Now that's probably a little further out, but I know that there are folks that are developing that now, and that's something on our radar for the future.
Particularly when SHOP eventually makes it, correct?
SHOP or potentially. Seeing how it evolves, seeing how SHOP evolves, or just the exchanges outside of that. It could be something where an employer is just pushing people into making the exchange available. And so there could even be a mix of employer-paid provided plans and exchange plans for a certain subset of employees where that makes more sense.
Yeah. Ryan, when you look at when you kind of look out at the market, we have these exchanges that are sitting there. There's going to be there's, as Doug and I mentioned on the previous segment, there's kind of a wait and see right now. There's some people that are moving to these exchanges, but there's some employers who are saying, "Hey, I want to make sure I see what these things are doing and how they're functioning before I make that move." There's a lot of what we talk about is employers are actually already moving to full replacement, higher deductible type plans, and the voluntary piece plays a very key role in filling those gaps. Is that correct? Gaps in care created by that high deductible?
Absolutely. I mean, I think even before ACA, there was the trend for consumer-driven health plans, in rising deductibles, the advent of HSAs, et cetera. So we've been moving that. ACA, I think, has really accelerated that, brought more focus to it, and then really, I think, created then the exchange concept, right? That we've all been reacting to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think the voluntary benefits, the supplemental benefits. When you think of the critical illness, cancer, et cetera, gap more directly tied to the out-of-pocket costs or gaps in coverage from medical and those rising deductibles. So you're absolutely right. The voluntary products, the suite of products, having them available to employees to choose what's right for them. Is definitely, I would say, an integral part of a complete voluntary offering.
And that comes back to what you talked about earlier, the real importance of benefit communication, education, and administration to be able to provide those tools to your brokers and their employees. So what specifically are you guys doing right now around these initiatives?
We've been investing, I would say, significantly within technology, right, to provide the means through which benefit communication is accomplished. In a consumerist model, folks have to understand what the choices are, and so we as a carrier focus on education, on awareness, so that employees understand what benefits are available to them, the value that has. All of our folks that are actually sitting down face-to-face, for example, in situations where we're going to do that, they're all non-commissioned. So their focus is on ensuring that benefits are adequately communicated and understood. In addition to that, we've got several market research efforts completed and ongoing, where we're reaching out and working directly with consumers, employees, and customers, employers, and trying to figure out, directly from them, some of whom, we have a relationship with, some of whom we don't, to really gain insights and actionable insights to ensure that, where we're headed and the tools that we're delivering are exactly what people are looking for.
Is mobile an important part of what you're doing?
Absolutely. It's certainly the heart of what we're doing. So the platforms, any technologies that we do, not only are going to be online, but then they adapt to mobile. Yeah. Certainly, when you get into the smaller screen size of a phone, things can be compromised. But certainly that's a part of the process and something that would supplement as well education. Right? I mean, it's when you think of benefits. Communication, it's multi-pronged. It's multi-touch as well. It's not a single enrollment event or a single conversation. So mobile absolutely is at the heart of those efforts.
Ryan, and I know you guys work, with your market. A lot of your business is brought to you through brokers and consultants out there. What's kind of the education process right now with them on, getting the information from you all and then communicating that through to their employer clients?
Let me think of the best way to answer here. I mean, we work with the agents certainly, and then it's a discussion. What level of service? There are many agents out there, many producers that we work with who are very comfortable in this space and have internal enrollment shops and folks that work on benefits communication. I'd say generally the population that we work with, quote unquote, gets it, right? They're already focused on describing value, on service. As an agency, they're providing service to that employer, to their customers. And so there's typically a very good alignment when we're working with the agents that we typically work with. And so from there, every case potentially is unique based on the level of relationship, based on the level of capacity within an agent's firm, the role that we play. Certainly, when it comes to a more involved benefits communication planning process, the folks that we have in the field, our enrollment coordinators, we want to make sure have the discussions, planning discussions, not only with the agent but also with that employer, with the HR representative or administrator who's going to be helping make it a successful event.
Ryan, in this we got about 30 seconds left. Just want to let you leave kind of one good takeaway with our audience, and then let them know how they can find you as well.
Certainly. One good takeaway. Well, again, I think just want to make sure it's clear for everybody that we, Assurant Employee Benefits, go a step further than others by delivering unique, comprehensive administrative solutions that simplify employers' processes and make their job of offering benefits easier. And we think this is supported by our broad array of products, the quality service we provide, and our strong partnerships. Our goal ultimately here is to change the way voluntary benefits are delivered with comprehensive enrollment administration capabilities. And for contact, we'll probably reach out to Brenda Clevenger, and her phone number is area code 816-474-2625.
Hey, Ryan. Thanks.
Brenda.Clevenger@Assurant.com.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. Have a great weekend. And to the rest of our audience, stay tuned for the next segment of Healthcare Consumerism Radio.